Great to meet all of you. I always start my talks not with myself, but with one of our AI avatars. So Olivia is going to take the stage here, and hopefully the video will work.
I'm Olivia, an AI presenter created by Synthesia. Today, Victor will talk you through how to make videos like these at the click of a button. Anyway, over to you, Victor. Have a great day, and I look forward to speaking soon.
Right, so thank you to AI Olivia. For those of you who couldn't tell, this was a video that's generated entirely with AI. There was no cameras involved. I simply typed this out something like 20 minutes ago before I went on stage here. I'm Victor Riparbelli, and I'm the CEO, one of the co-founders of Synthesia. And today I'm going to talk about AI. I'm going to talk about video, and hopefully give you some inspiration for how you could communicate better in whatever company that you're working with. Synthesia is a company that we founded almost 7 years ago. We're 4 co-founders. 2 of us, not myself, but 2 of my co-founders are world-leading professors in AI. We're around 300 people. We raised something like $150 million in cash. Lately, our Series C at $1 billion. And what we're really, really interested in is making it easy for people to create video content. But the way we think of that is not by smaller, more affordable cameras. Is not by building slightly better video editing tools that runs on your phone or something like that. We're building technology that eventually will be able to replace the entire physical production process. What that means to us is that you can go from your imagination to a video without needing anything else in just a few clicks in Synthesia. We've made quite some strides toward that mission so far. You can't yet make Hollywood films in Synthesia. In a couple of years, you'll probably be able to make something that kind of resembles that. But we have managed to become the world's biggest AI video platform with more than 50,000 customers. We work with more than 44% of the Fortune 100. And we help them communicate much better with video than they did before. Before we talk about AI, though, let's talk a little bit about what the world looks like today, especially our online worlds. It's very clear that today people want to watch and listen to their content. They don't really want to read anymore. I'm sure for most of you that's true in your personal lives. For myself, even though I love reading, when I want to learn something new, I usually start on YouTube or TikTok, and then I'll move to the book 3 or 4 steps down the line if it's something I'm really, really interested in. But most of us, when we go to work, it's a lot of text, emails, slides, not the kind of communication that most people actually want to consume. So why do people not create more video content, or businesses don't create more video content? It works better almost no matter what you're trying to do. For sales and marketing, it increases conversion. If you're doing something with learning, it increases information retention. But the problem with video, of course, is that it's just so difficult to make video. I'm sure many of you have made video at some point during your career. And it actually takes quite a lot of different skill sets. You have to be able to write a script. You have to be able to operate a camera and film something. You have to do some editing. You maybe have to do some translation. And God forbid, you have to edit something down the line. You're going to have a headache because it's very difficult to go back and edit camera footage. You basically can't, right? You have to reshoot it again. Luckily, AI can help us somewhat with this process. And that's what we've been building at Synthesia for the last 7 years. With our AI video platform, you can essentially create video content just in minutes. You don't need any cameras, no actors, no studios, no microphones. The way it works is very simple, as you're hopefully seeing on the screen right now. You go in, you select one of these AI avatars, or you create your own, which is a very popular feature. We do around 1,500 of these custom avatars for people every quarter. That's everything from executives in Fortune 500 companies to just individual YouTube creators. Once you've selected your avatar, you simply just type out the script, like you would in a Word document. You can do a bunch of editing around it, add some background images, some text, some animations, make the video look really cool. Then you hit generate, and you have something that almost resembles a real video. Very, very different process from having to get a camera, film someone, and go through that entire process that I described before. The way we think of this really is taking the entire kind of video life cycle and then compressing it down into one single platform. So if we take all of those steps that I mentioned before. If we start with the script writing, I'm sure a lot of you here have used ChatGPT Probably there's no one who hasn't used ChatGPT. We have a similar type of functionality in Synthesia. So if you're lost for inspiration, you can start off making your video by saying, make a video about fly fishing in Oregon or something like that. We'll then design a bunch of scenes for you. We'll write the script for you. Then, of course, it's still up to you to take that and edit it and make it really nice. On the filming, we have our AI avatars and AI voices, which you just saw before, which obviously makes that much, much easier. On the editing, we've built a tool that is really, really easy to use. It's kind of like making a PowerPoint presentation. So anyone can do it. And you can also collaborate with all of your colleagues and friends or whatever to make the video. The translation piece is also, again, much easier using AI. We can both translate the video for you, we can produce it in 140 different languages. So you can imagine if you're a really big company with a lot of different markets, this technology really helps kind of scale that localization. And this, of course, goes all the way down to updating content. This is actually one of the things we hadn't really anticipated when we launched this product and start selling it to people. Updating video content is an incredible big pain if you're making video the traditional manner. But with these types of videos, it's kind of like working with a Word document. You just open up the video, you edit whatever you need to edit. It may be there's a policy change in your business, there's a new product, pricing change. And then you just save it, generate it, and you have something new, right? So it's as easy to work with as it is to work with text or slides that most people are familiar with. So what do people actually use this for? Well, one of the things that was really interesting when we launched the product, and we kind of saw just how people started using it, is a lot of people look at this and think that we're kind of replacing video production. And that's, of course, not entirely untrue. And as this technology becomes better and better, that will be more and more true. But actually, what people are doing today is they're replacing text. And that's really, really important. That's a very, very key insight for getting us to where we are today. If you are one of the world's biggest fast food companies, for example, and you have to train and onboard millions of people all around the world every single year, then for most companies, that meant a 40-page handbook that you have to sit down, read, comprehend, and take a quiz in the end. That's a pretty terrible way for an employee to onboard to a new role. And it's a pretty terrible thing for the company who gets an employee who isn't properly trained when they actually start their job, right? Now they can make a video instead in whatever language they desire. That's really, really powerful. You remember around 10 times as much of a video as you do when you read something. But the real big thing is because the platform is so easy to use, the same people who used to write that 40-page handbook can now make the videos themselves. So they don't have to go through the video production department. This is something that everyone can use. We've built the tool in a way that anyone who's ever used PowerPoint in their life should be able to just jump in and straight away start making videos. And this is what we're seeing with a lot of our really big clients, where we have upwards of 1,000 people in some companies actively using Synthesia, kind of like you would use PowerPoint if you have an office job. And for us, this is exciting, right? Because this is where we get to essentially upgrade people's communications from text to video. And I think if we take a 5-year perspective on this, we'll be watching and listening way more than we read, even when we're at work. To show a few examples.
Microsoft Teams is built for hybrid collaboration.
You'll find everything you need to know about Oracle Digital Assistant.
The first step in your Go Cardless journey.
We are proud to introduce Dixa Academy for administrators.
For web, you can also set your horizontal and vertical.
Digital Journey Enablement Session on April 6th.
Hello, I'm Jarek's avatar, your digital innovation assistant.
On your first day at Netflix, you'll meet your manager and
Mein Name ist Sandy Bacchus. Seit 2020 bin ich
This was obviously a quick reel of what some of our customers are using it for. But really what I, as a founder of the company, really love the most is just seeing when you give people a tool that's really easy to use, what do they do with it, right? And people are really finding use cases for this all over the company, which is, for us, incredibly exciting. One thing to highlight for me is a company called Teleperformance, one of the world's biggest companies you probably haven't heard of. Basically, they help people outsource their customer support. And they have to train a lot of people in very different tasks all over the world. And once they started using Synthesia, they went from having PDF documents and the occasional video to now having video for everything, which has massively increased the efficiency, and in numbers have helped them save more than $5,000 per video, 5 days of production time, and a lot of other headaches down the line. We're still super early in this technology, and the use cases I've shown here and some of the examples, while incredibly valuable today, just imagine when this technology gets better and better and better, how much this type of technology will influence everything that we do in work and in our private lives. We have one of the world's largest AI labs working on this particular type of technology. And one of the big headlines for the next couple of years for us is taking these avatars from this sort of green screen presenter, someone talking to the camera style content, to avatars that can walk around on a stage, have a conversation with each other, pick up an object, review something, do all the things you'd be able to do with a normal camera. These avatars will soon be able to do. The videos here are from a research paper we released about 6 months ago. And it's, of course, far from there. But this technology really is improving at a rapid pace. And it won't be long before you can make marketing videos, scenario-based trainings, and many other types of content without ever leaving your desk. And that really is what we're super excited about, making everyone here able to create a really, really cool video. In the near term, we have a big upgrade coming to our avatar tech within the next 6 months. I brought a fun little example here because I think it illustrates quite well just how good these technologies are going to get. For those of you who may have seen Synthesia avatars before, or maybe even used them yourself, you'll know that while they're really, really good, they still sometimes can be a little bit robotic. They're not great at telling jokes. They usually fall pretty flat. They're not great at making you feel something. They still have that little bit of kind of Alexa/Siri vibe to them in the way that they look and they talk, right? Which is great for a lot of use cases. That's absolutely fine. But to elevate the avatars will also mean that we can elevate the kind of use cases you can build with this tech. The big thing we're working on is making our AI systems able to understand the intent of the text that you're writing. So if you put in a script from a Tolkien novel, for example, the system should understand that the avatar should perform that like it's reading out a book, right? You'd probably talk like slow sentences with like lots of intonation, and essentially like when you're listening to an audiobook, that's kind of how it should sound. And if you put in the script of someone who is selling you a used car, it should be a lot more upbeat, a lot more body movements, a lot more in your face and kind of high energy, right? And we've gotten to the point now where we actually can start from just the text you put in to infer how this video or this script should be performed. And everything from how the voice sounds to how the avatar moves. I'm going to play this little demo here, and I think when I saw this for the first time, it was quite a wow moment for me. This is just us putting in a little bit of text. All the ums and ahs and the things that sound very natural here, everything is entirely generated. And this is just kind of a lucky accident from us prompting the system in the right way. So I'll leave you with this as hopefully some inspiration for where this tech's going to go in the next 6 to 9 months. And yeah, I'll talk after that.
And I don't think doing text-to-speech is so hard. It's just, you know, mimicking human traits.
So it's a short clip, but as you can tell, just like it sounds really human, right? Because the avatar is like, I'm not really sure like what to say here. And that's basically because our systems, from the text we put in, inferred that that's how this should sound, right? So if you want to make much more creative content in the future, you will have a way of doing it where you can put in all this text, and the systems will basically help you figure out how this should be performed by the avatar, and you can essentially become the role of a director, right? So on a film set, a director will say to an actor, do this a bit more passionate, a bit less passionate, make it more funny, make it more sad. And it's the same way these systems eventually will work. And I think that's going to be really, really exciting. If you want to try making your own video, then please go to synthesia.io. You can make a free demo video. You can also sign up for an account, of course. Thank you so much for coming. I hope this was just a little bit interesting, and hope to see you make a video pretty soon on Synthesia. Thank you.